What's your favourite game mechanic? One that you didn't write yourself, of course.
Just one. I don't think I can do just one. I could do two. I think my two favourite mechanics in gaming are... One, they're both things I go on about quite a lot, so shouldn't come as a surprise to any regular viewers. But I think that the first one is the rule in Feng Shui, where you describe your moves, and the more complicated and outrageous and in keeping with the genre of like Hong Kong cinema, as was, the more it fits into that, the higher the bonus you get, not the higher the penalty. So previous to that, a game would probably still penalise you for doing weird moves, like fighting with a ladder, Jackie Chan style or whatever, because it's not a weapon. But then it might compensate you for that with special skills or abilities that offset the penalty that anyone else would have while trying to fight with a ladder or whatever. But in one fell swoop, by giving you a larger bonus the more descriptive you were, and a larger bonus the more in keeping with the genre your moves were, Feng Shui very, very simply encouraged a particular style of play, because everyone wants to weasel as many bonuses as possible, and created a huge amount of genre emulation just with one rule. Right? That was all you needed. So that was kind of click, click, click. Ooh, revelatory. I think that's a huge thing. The idea of stunts and higher bonuses for doing things that fit the genre. I think that's huge. And the other big rule that I really love from games that I didn't write is the whole merits and flaws system in Deadlands Wasted West, which I played more than the other one, so I don't know how consistent it is across editions and so on. But, you know, when people are creating characters for a lot of games that use merits and flaws, or, you know, banes and boons, or whatever you want to call them, you know, aspects of the character, all these little mini sub-rules are practically impossible for you as a games master to remember for all the NPCs, let alone for the player characters as well. So people would often take flaws and then innocently forget that they've got them on their characters, and so they just don't come into play, right? But the way that Deadlands did it was you earn chips that you can turn in for bonuses or for experience points at the end of the game by playing up your flaws and your drawbacks and so on. Yeah, the benefits people don't forget. But so it was in the player's interest to point out when they had a flaw that was relevant to the situation, or if they wanted to, they could ignore it in a situation. It's just they wouldn't get any later benefit for it. So instantly that takes a huge weight off the games master's shoulders and creates a mechanic where people are policing their own flaws in their characters, their own drawbacks, and bringing them to the fore during scenes in a way that keeps things interesting, makes them relevant to play, and doesn't overload the games master. So those are the two rules that I can immediately point to as being fantastic. And one is for genre emulation, and proving the system does matter when you're trying to do these sorts of things. And the other is a way of offloading some of the bookkeeping and worries of the games master onto the players. And both have had a huge influence on my design, though it might not be necessarily immediately obvious, but they have.